Rock and Manooch, now on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Rock and Manooch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2, also on the iHeart Radio app. And we are going to turn our attention back to the NFL. Cardinals losing yesterday to the Cincinnati Bengals. Frank Sanders is our guest. Frank, Jimmy B, and Manooch, welcome as always, pal. Let's kind of start first with your impressions of what you saw out of Joe Burrow and JaMarr Chase. As a former wide receiver, you had to be envious with Chase's 15 catches and 3 touchdowns.
Hey, JB, how you guys doing, man? Look, good to be with you guys on this wonderful Monday. Unfortunately, the Cardinals could not get over the hump, man, versus a team that seemed like they was down and out, but look, when you look back at the film and you see if you was at the stadium and you saw what seemed to be a healthy Joe Burrow getting better, and it looked like and they had an intentions. They made every intentions to find ways to get him the ball. They had him outside wide. They had him in the slot. They moved him to the backfield. He motioned from left to right. He called plays from the phone booth. He was upstairs selling popcorns. They found him in every direction that they could, and they made an attempt to make sure they got the ball to him. And he did a good job of, just being a solid receiver that he is.
Frank, it's interesting. We were talking about, we know he's fast, but when you got defensive backs back there running 4.2s and 4.3s, he might be a legitimate 4.15 as far as pulling away from those guys, especially the back of the end zone. He ran away from everybody. I'm going to predict he's probably a 4.15 in the 40, something like that.
Look, JaMarr he's proven from a rookie to now that he has that extra gear in his engine that he can pull away from a lot of guys. That's on a 5-yard catch. That's catching the ball over the middle of the field with defenders having the ability to close in on them, and he has the ability to still get to that end zone. You look at it, he had 15 catches for 192 yards. He had 2 touchdowns that basically came on a scramble drill, and he just kept moving, which is something that I know, Manooch, you love about a receiver, that if the pocket breaks down, Joe moves left or moves right, and he finds a way to get open. That's exactly what he did. Of course, you can't take away the idea that these two guys have great rapport from college all the way to the pros, and they still are being very effective playing this game of football.
I think what goes unnoticed when you talk about JaMarr Chase is the durability factor. He's strong hands. He runs good routes. And he catches the football. I don't think I've ever seen him drop one. That deep ball, that bomb he caught from Joe Burrow, that ball was sailing. He got his hands out there and stuck to those gloves as he took that in the end zone. I think it's not only the home run gear, but I think the durability and just how he catches the ball, Frank.
No, he does. He's first-round draft pick for a reason. Joe Burrow is definitely getting healthy. We can see that. We saw that, Look, Stevie Wonder saw how good Joe Burrow looked yesterday, and he didn't have a problem with that. But here's the funny thing about it. We saw a couple of catches from our guys, some bursts from Oliver Brown. We saw Mr. Moore look like he had some speed and some agility that we're just waiting to see on a consistent basis. Our quarterback throws the ball. He goes out for 32 passes, 166 yards. That's less than 5 yards a pass. And when you look at the other side, you see Joe Burrow, he's got 317 yards and about 40-some passes. They're running a different offense, and we're in a position right now, looking at the Cardinals, honestly, Jimmy B, is that they need something to get them over the hump. Defense is playing hard. The offense is giving you at least 3 to 4 quarters of football. But when you match up versus teams who have those players that can get them over the hump or give themselves or go out and make big plays, that is the difference between the Cardinals being at least 3-2 right now and to where they are, where their record shows.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, it's my contention now with the amount of games that the NFL has played that there now is enough video of Joshua Dobbs and enough video of the Cardinals offense so that defensive coordinators are now much better at adapting their defensive schemes to what the Cardinals like to do. Is that fair?
Absolutely. You can see it you can see it from the interceptions that were thrown and how the guys are making plays. There was an interception that was dropped, and I agree with you. Look, Josh Dobbs, he's been an excellent backup for the Arizona Cardinals. This past week, the 2 interceptions, of course, one was bopped off the little bop off the receiver, and the DB just happened to be in the right spot. But I agree with you, Jimmy B. He's in a position right now. Defenses are scheming him. There was an opportunity where we saw he got ready to run for a 4th and 1, and the play call looked like it was a great play call. But the scheme of the defense was they covered it where they had a safety coming had a beeline directly at him, which was something that an uncounted for man got right through. So I agree with you. But from what he's been able to do and how he's gotten, hopped in and has tried to be a solid quarterback, he's done that. His footwork looks good in the pocket. His arm looks really good, like he has some pop in it. I don't have anything really bad to say about him. I just don't think that. I think right now what we need is that extra something from a player to do something pretty special from the quarterback position, and we just can't get that.
And Frank, I will say this: the pick 6 down on the goal line. I'm only going to blame Josh Dobbs for half of it. I know that Pascal ran the wrong out. You got a quick slant. You got to run the arrow route or out route. He ran like a 5-yard hitch. I have no idea why he did that. But you just got to see, if you see heavy traffic backed up against your goal line, you can't force that in there. Now, he may not have seen Pascal or decided to throw it when Pascal decided to turn on. I don't know if that was a clearing route. It should be an arrow route, but still to throw a quick slant down there, that's awful risky. So I blame Drew Petzing for half of that situation, for half of that pick 6.
No, I agree with you. I've watched that several times, but I wanted to know exactly who was at fault for that. You had two receivers on the right. You had 2 on the left. He decided to look right. He didn't look directly right. That being Mr. Dobbs, the quarterback, he didn't look directly right. He did exactly. He caught the ball, looked forward, then he turned right. But here's the funny thing: the scheme of window, along with the 2 DBs.
Right.
So again, going back to Jimmy B's point, that's just that is the chess match of defensive coordinators, kind of having an idea that we're not going to throw the ball deep. We're going to try to find a way to dink and dunk and get the ball out of his hand pretty fast. And unfortunately, that ball got tipped, and they got the pick and went in, and that pretty much seemed like to be the momentum changer of the game as you got into the 3rd and 4th quarter. But you're right; it's just a moment right now where teams have enough film to watch and to know exactly what they can expect from Joshua Dobbs.
Are they trying to use Rondell Moore as a Deebo Samuel mini-me kind of thing, the way they're running? I wish they would throw the ball down the field, but he ran the ball fairly well. Is it kind of that kind of same concept, the way you see San Fran run Deebo out of the backfield?
I think what's funny? If they're trying, they're just not doing a really good job.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's looking at the way we're calling plays. I like the plays we're calling. I like we get into the A set. I like the multiple formations that we're showing. I do like those things. I just don't think that the way the defense is set up to protect over top and then take away the intermediate routes that we're running. That's basically what we're showing. What we need of Rondell Moore is just a little bit more. You're talking about getting the ball deep. Our deep balls, we're not throwing just directly go routes, and we're not throwing directly post routes. They have to be set up with, maybe after a slide right or a slide left or a power right or a power left from the running game with a little bit of the RPO, but it's not something that we're just coming out doing. It's not like we're sitting in a 4 and 5 wide receiver set and we're just running combinational routes that either take one side of the football field away and it opens up to the backside and the quarterback just has to make 3. That's not our offense. Again, he threw 32 passes, completed just a little bit less than half of those, and he threw for basically 166 yards. Manuch, you could do that, man, without a problem right now on any JV team.
Thanks, Skippy, man. Give me my hip protectors, my rib protectors, brother. I'm getting it. I'm pumping it down the field.
Just give me an arm. Man, Frank, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it, buddy.
Always great when you're on the show, kid. We'll talk to you. That is Frank Sanders, everybody, former Cards wideout.
See, he knows I can still flip it if I had to.
Oh, yeah.
I have to get a doctor's release.
Yeah, one, then your shoulders
Oh,
gone.
no kidding,
That's
man.
it. Frank is sponsored always by the CAZ Monday Night Tailgate. Once again, it's our 23rd year, and we are giving away cash. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just show up here right now. If you're listening, you're in the car. Make that Yui and head over to Casino, Arizona, right off the 101 at McKillop's. You'll find us here at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. Jackpot tonight is up to $800. Yep, if they return a kickoff for a touchdown and you have the number called, it is $800 in your pocket. They've got squares, propositions as well, and, of course, the CAZ Sportsbook is here for your wagering pleasure. Once again, it is free tonight, and it is the Packers and the Raiders. Doors will already be open when you arrive. They will also have the Diamondback game on against the Dodgers, which will begin just a little bit after 6 o'clock. So we will see you here. All right, coming up is our football at 50. Rockin' the Nooch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.